welcome to Atomic Dairy's 2019 year in review. Thanks for being here. Goodbye. Just kidding, it's a greeting.
This is our first video of 2020, and we wanted to look back over what we did the previous year. We just got started, so there's not that many to look at, but we wanted to show you what all we've done and maybe talk about what we do in the future.
Thank you for 1,000 subscribers. We did not think we would break this in 2019. I'm being genuinely serious. Thank you for everybody who has subscribed and liked the channel. We also subscribe and like the channel. We have a lot in common, you and me.
So we keep building new stuff, and we try to do videos about the new things that we put together out here in the shop, but we love it out here. This is one of our happy places.
That's a fact. We want to outline all the videos that we put out this year, the stuff that we had previously made before we started making videos, the stuff we made and you could watch in the videos, random videos that we just made to see if we could get away with making them. We're going to talk about them all here. It's going to be a little bit of a longer video, but thanks for sticking around. Appreciate you.
We started out by thinking, wow, we built so much stuff. People come to the house and we routinely give tours at parties when they come over. A bunch of people will gather together and we'll take them around. We'll show, this is the techno desk, and this is what we call the slider, the thing over the TV, and this is this, and this is that. And so people are like, well, have you put this stuff online? And we're like, well, you know what, let's put together a YouTube channel. So we did. And once we got everything set up, I decided I was gonna see what I could do if I could make a video in a day. So I took one of my old plaques, this is Naval Communication Station San Miguel, where I used to live back in the 70s, and we made the QB Point video where we talked about all the plaques out there the pilots had and what was going on down at the Naval Aviation Museum in Florida with all those plaques, just to try to see if we could do a video. But that wasn't our real launch video, but that was the first one. The next video we did was something that we'd built a number of years before, and that's going to kind of be a theme here. A lot of the things that we're showing you have been in use here for years. A lot of new stuff like this that we're building, you'll see the whole construction for, but a lot of the other things, it's like, well, we built it and we just got a bunch of pictures to show you because it's been here for 5 years. And that was the gearbox, the gears that hang in our hall bathroom. People go in there and the whole wall moves and it freaks them out, but it's really cool and it's got flashing LEDs and we really like it. It's a lot of fun. Because blinking lights are important.
The Blue Scorpion. A friend of ours needed the metal sign, so we made it. And that was kind of the first legit, oh, we're building something and we're showing other people how we built what we built. And it was pretty good. You should check it out. Thank you.
On the Blue Scorpion, we didn't have a lot to do. We were just putting lights on the back of a piece of metal. So we decided to make it sinister because the person that asked us to make it, her dad wouldn't tell us where his nickname came from. And so we thought if we made a funny video, he would fess up and tell her where his nickname came from. He didn't. He thought it was really funny, but he never did tell her. So we still don't know why his nickname is Blue Scorpion. But we made the thing and made a video.
That's a fact. So the Alderon shard was my first time ever soldering, my first time playing with wires, all of that. A theme for the things that we made and that has continued is we had a need and we built something to satisfy the need. We needed a garage door sensor because different people were leaving up the garage doors and
garage.
Yeah, people used to park in this garage. Now they don't. No cars allowed. But we couldn't tell whether the garage door was open. Bugs were getting in. Probably rodents. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff getting into the garage that shouldn't have. And also, that's a safety thing. I don't want people in the garage because then they could get into the house. And people aren't allowed in there who aren't supposed to be there. So I was in 7th or 8th grade when we did that one. And we just took... if you want to know how we built it, go check out the video. It's free to do that. You don't have to pay any money. But I got to see how electricity worked, and you can make really cool LEDs and really cool things really simply. The stuff that we make is not very complex. But the Alderon shard we've had for a number of years, and it kind of sparked in me oh, I can do this.
And it works very well. Now we know if the garage is open or not. The fanboy, which is hanging up here on the wall, came about because we were tracking sawdust into the house constantly and we were having trouble breathing. Now we use breathing masks and other things in here for that, but there was this dust cloud that's settled and everything in here. And I started looking at dust collection online and discovered that a lot of people had some really great ideas. And so we came up with an idea to use a pretty powerful fan, and ours is unique and it really does the job well. A couple of people say they're building it online, have been messaging me, which is really cool. And if they give us pictures, we'll show you. But it really has made this shop a lot less dusty. It really does keep the air clear. Now we still wear air filters on our faces and we have other dust collection going on in here. But in terms of a haze of dust being in here when we do woodworking, it just doesn't happen anymore because the fanboy takes care of it for us.
It's fantastic. Please build one.
The electric safe was another one. We are slowly replacing our store-bought furniture in the house with things that we've made because it's kind of fun to do that. And we decided we were going to build a wooden table to put over where my wife sits on the sofa and give her some plugs for her computer and her phone and everything. And there's the chair on the other side that various daughters were using to plug into. So we addressed an electrical problem we were having in that corner, and we wanted something that looked weird but was customized to us. So we built it and realized it would look really cool as a safe, and we put it all together and all the electronics inside, and the charger works, and everybody comes to the house and they think that we somehow scored a 1,000-pound metal safe to stick there, and it's a lie. It's actually a wooden end table.
Highly recommend building your own furniture. Like, I promise you, it's not hard. Like, you have to start somewhere. Like, the first table I ever built, I use it as a bedside table currently, like out in my apartment at school. But a little bit of an eyesore, but it's my eyesore, so it's fine. And I've been able to remodel it and rehash it later on in life, and I've been able to like make further iterations to it. A future video coming sometime, I don't know when.
She'll show you what she built it. We have to do another video first to show you where we got the spare parts from to build her table. So that's also coming. It's lots of things are coming.
Bro, literally, it's so cool. You're gonna love it. Thank you.
The TV, the shield over the TV, it was one of the major things that I did before she started assisting. I didn't want a TV hanging on the wall. I wanted to hide it when it wasn't in use. And so I saw different people had things where they could have slide outs or picture frames that would swing out or whatever that would hide the TV. And I looked at a lot of different things and I realized I could build a picture frame that went up and down because we have a 20-foot ceiling in our living room. We had plenty of headroom for something to go up. So I put that together, and it's great. We leave it up most of the time, but when we have parties over here or we want the house to look nice, which is kind of odd for us to look nice, but we put it down so we look presentable and no one knows there's a TV there. It's really great.
And also the video for that was super rushed because we had a hurricane evacuation. So you might notice that video was a little different than the other ones because we had to evacuate, we had to leave. So just a fun fact about some of our videos is like some of them we have more time to work on them than others, and some of them like we gotta go really fast.
I built something a while back called the emergency tiara, and I really did it as a joke. And it hung in our kitchen, and people would come over to the house and immediately put the emergency tiara on and walk around, and it became a thing. People started saying, hey, can you build me an emergency tiara? And I built a few. There's actually 10 of them on the floor back here that we're putting together for people down here on the floor. We built a lot of more stuff out here than what you've seen on video. We're trying to show you all the stuff. But the emergency tiara was a neat one, and I got a lot of comments that that's kind of a crafty thing to do for a wood shop. But hey, we're here to build things that people like. And the emergency tiara is highly entertaining. And there's one in our house now. There's one in my wife's office. And our youngest daughter has one when she goes off to college next year. And more people keep asking about it. So anyway, that was that one. And it's kind of silly, but you got to build one. You'll be amazed at how much people like it.
Compass table numero uno.
We built the compass table from a table that we already had. But that's another one. When people come over for events here at the house, they just sit there and they move the magnets around on the compass table because it's so mesmerizing, and it's really popular. But the funny thing is, nobody ever uses the coasters.
Nobody uses them. They just put their cup on the table, which is fine because it's glass, and then they just, because they're afraid that they're gonna ruin the coasters with the magnets. Like, you putting an iced soda on top of the coaster isn't gonna break it. That's literally the whole point. And that's something that I've literally never understood, is people just don't use them. But whatever, it's fine.
And they sit there and they play with the coasters all night with their drink sitting right next to it. It's just funny to watch.
A note from us, whenever you build anything, if somebody else uses it, they're 100% not going to use it in a way that you think they will.
That's very true.
That's something you can think about for projects that you make at work, whatever. If you're making anything, people are not going to react the way that you think they will. So try to idiot-proof your stuff.
That's right.
I could eat this and still be alive.
Then we built the vacuum cart. It's sitting right down here at my feet, but it's a vacuum cart that automatically turns on when it's used. We've got the fanboy up here, but for spot use, because all the things here in the shop are mobile, we pull out the router, we pull this out, we pull that out, and the little vacuum that automatically turns itself on is used pretty heavily by us. And that one, we did not realize how popular that was going to be. That went to 11,000 views almost immediately. It's its most popular video.
Bro, it blew up, and then we gained a lot of subscribers from it, and then we uploaded our next video, and we lost a lot of subscribers because people who subscribed wanted to see more like hacks they could do with their shop. But like, we do shop hack videos, but then we also make things, and we want to talk about the things that we make, but then we also do a lot of like other things.
But since a lot of you are interested in shop things, and we do have a pretty cool shop. By the way, the shop is orange, not because I'm an X-Wing pilot in the Rebel Legion, which is true, but it's because...
It's my favorite color.
That's right. So she came in here and she said, this is boring, we need to paint this thing. So we started painting things orange. But it's all works really well for us. And so because so many of you are interested in shop things, we're like, well, hey, we built these flip top tables, we built this miter saw, the fanboy, everything. So you know what, we're gonna start filming the shop things that we do, and there's quite a few shop things coming that we're working on. I've got the designs for several things that we're going to be building out here. And we build them because we needed to do specific jobs for things we're going to make, and so we'll continue to do a lot of shop videos. And we appreciate y'all joining us, and the comments you've made have been fantastic. I've learned quite a bit from you, so please keep watching and keep sharing your comments.
Oh yeah, also, some of you have noticed whenever there's like a little bit of wood left when I'm like using the miter saw, that I'll cross my arms to lower it. That's because my left arm is physically not strong enough to pull the trigger and pull down the saw. Because like, I do a lot of things in the shop, but I'm not very strong. So what I'll do is I'll like shift my weight to make things work, and like my right arm, I can like pull down on it with my entire weight, but my left arm, I just can't do that. So, I mean, I'm working out. So, just a fun fact for everybody out there. I'm trying.
All right, so the next thing we built was something that I built, has gotten a lot of attention, is the equipment rack, or the gear box. We call it a trooping box. I'm in the Rebel Legion. If you have a Star Wars costume that matches what's in the movies, is that quality, you can be in the Rebel Legion. You have to be inspected and approved to be let in. And I'm an X-Wing pilot from episode 4, 5, and 6. The other side of that is a little more famous, the 501st Legion. If you're a bad guy and you're a Stormtrooper or Darth Vader or a Sith Lord or whatever, and you have a screen-ready costume, you can wear those. They're all around you. 501st and Rebel Legion are worldwide. There's tens of thousands of us out there, and we do charity work. We go visit kids in hospitals, and we do parades, and whatever else we can do to support things. We went to a cancer run one morning, and then to a hospital later that afternoon. One of the favorite things that we do every year is what's called a reverse trick or treat. Here in our town, in the children's intensive care unit, we go dressed as Star Wars characters, and we go to the rooms in ICU because those kids can't get out of their beds. They're all plugged into things, and we take them candy. But I built my equipment box to carry my stuff around, and when I go to these events, other people who are nerds like me and dress up like this are like, well, that's really cool. So I built it, and that one went all through the Star Wars community and the cosplayer community. They all found that very interesting. I've got a lot of great comments about that. So that's why we showed you that. It's just one of those little things that we build, like we build everything else, for our convenience and to make our life more cool. Solder station's another one. This is the wood shop. We also have what we call the electronics lab inside. You've seen the gray background, all the lava lamps and everything. That's where we do our indoor stuff, our soldering, wiring work, and things like that. But it has to be modular because it's not that large of a room, and so we'll work on something, box it up, move it, and bring the next thing out. And the solder station was a way that the soldering iron and all its components could be put in one place, used, boxed up, and put away. And if we have to solder out here in the shop, we just bring the box out here and use a soldering iron. And it's really been a game changer because it declutters things quite a bit. And that was a fun one. In the video, we went to a pizza place and we were showing me use the soldering station, and I opened it up while eating a pizza. And if you notice in the video, we drove all the way out to the pizza place, had dinner. My wife had the camera shooting me eating at the place. I opened it up and realized that I'd forgotten to put the soldering iron in the box, so there's no soldering iron there. But we played it off okay, and none of you noticed, nobody commented, so we got away with it.
Now you all know. Secret's out.
The second compass table. We have 3 daughters, all of whom are amazing. This is the middle daughter, Hannah.
That's me.
And the oldest daughter wanted a compass table to take to college, and so we built it for her right out here out of some wood that was donated to us. It was really high quality, 1-inch thick oak wood. We loved working with it. It was easy to cut, easy to sand. And that one holds, I think, 650 compasses, and it's designed to survive college students. And she had some changes in her where she was living, and she's now living in a furnished apartment, so she doesn't need it where it is. But my youngest daughter said, I'll take it. So all the pictures and video you see of that table are actually right above us in my youngest daughter's bedroom, the one that's going to college next year. And so there's some discussion over who's going to retain ownership of that. But anyway, that's where that came from. It's our second compass table. It will be traveling with someone.
I brought this to college. I don't need a compass table. Also, a fun fact about most of these videos, I'm not in them. That's because I'm a full-time college student and I don't live here. So I will come home and I will film certain segments, I'll film certain like whole videos, but you'll notice that I'm not in lots of these videos. We've started getting comments where it's like, man, I wish there was more Hannah. And it's like, that's very kind of you. But I cannot. I gotta graduate.
But we'll incorporate it wherever we can, and I'll try to be funny too. So please stick around. We have so many cool things to show you. The docking target came about in our previous house where we lived for 10 years, which is a couple blocks over, that I would always I had these balls hanging down from the ceiling so we could, park the cars correctly. And if I was out in the shop working on something, I had nothing like this. And I was constantly running into these balls that were hanging down. So I made them so they could retract, simply for my convenience. I wasn't trying to solve, world peace or anything. It was just to make it easier on me. And a lot of you have commented, well, that doesn't make any sense because if the garage door open, the ball is still hanging down. That doesn't help at all. Well, here it does, because we live in a swamp. And our garage doors tend to stay closed because if the garage doors are open, all the bugs come in, especially during the spring and summer, which is also why we have an inside paint booth over here, because if we go outside and paint something outside, all the bugs land on it. So for us, closing the garage doors is a prerequisite to doing any kind of serious work in the wood shop. So that's why our docking targets retract into the ceiling, because it works for us. And so I understand the comments about other people, and maybe someday I'll live in a place where I can open my garage door and proudly enjoy the outside. This is not the place to do that.
Please watch the Dome of Destiny video. That's literally that's one of the coolest things that I've ever made in my entire life. But that is the project that solidified that I want to do engineering forever. The Alderon Shard introduced me to electronics, and that I can actually make things that I designed. The Dome of Destiny completely said, you can do this and you're good at it. Please go watch it. It does not, we keep sharing this video and no one knows what it is because nothing like it exists anywhere. So we try to promote it and people are like, oh, that's neat. What is it? And it's like, I don't know.
We've shared it on woodworking groups. We've shared it on crafting groups. I even went to the steampunk groups out there, and everybody's friendly, but it doesn't spike in viewership and everything. But it is the coolest thing. People come into their house and it looks like we got this stock ticker thing, like from the Addams Family when Gomez used to read stuff. It's this weird thing, and these weird lights that are on everything are like, what is that? And we show it to them, and everybody always goes and looks at it, but we make a video about it, and people are like, that's weird. But as a family, we get that directed to us all the time, so it's them. Yes, the weird people. So we're kind of used to that, but the Dome of Destiny is really a really cool thing, and she did a lot of electronics work there, and it solves a lot of problems. It charges batteries, it's got emergency lights, and we live in a hurricane zone, so that's power going out is a concern here. and all the Magic 8-Ball stuff and everything else. It's actually a pretty cool device, and it fits very well in our house.
It's really cool.
People were making comments of the shop, and again, we get a lot of comments about the shop, and we're going to do a shop tour in 2020 at some point to kind of show you what all is out here. But people were commenting about the drill station where I had PVC pipes to hold my drills and things, and I thought, you know, I really should have filmed that when I built it. And then I realized, you know, we're going to be adding a 4th drill out here. You know what? I'm just going to build another one. So I built a new one with 4 PVC pipes on it, and it all works. Let's see. So what's going to happen to the old drill station with the 3 drills on it? Well, somebody I know now has 3 drills, and so this is college bound.
It's me. I have 3 drills. One of them I stripped a lot, so I can only use it for smaller jobs. And then I got this really cool, it just happens to be sitting here. I had this cool 2-speed drill for Christmas, and it's literally a dream. I love it. And then I have another one that's a little bit older that's also kind of stripped because it's been through a lot. It's been through 4 techno desks and just about everything. Everything we've ever built, that drill's been through, and now it's also mine. So I have 3. And now I'm taking this to school with me.
So the Orlando Maker Faire, if you don't know what a Maker Faire is, it's where weirdos like us go and show off the things that they've made. In fact, we got a couple of comments when we said we were going down there, people asking us what table we were going to be at. We were just there to film and hang out, but we think what we're going to try to do in the future is go get a table at some of these and just go hang out where you can come see us. So stay tuned for that. If we go on tour, you can come out and see us at Maker Fairs and shockingly science fiction cons. We do stuff like that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Come see us when we go to these.
But we wanted to show you what it was like to go down there and see something as amazing and as large as Orlando Maker Faire is. And so go check out the video. Go to a Maker Faire. It's great just to walk around and people watch. But there's people who build things there, all kinds of things. Then showed you the super picture frame, which is a way that we could display large numbers of pictures because we have 3 daughters and my wife and I, and so we take 100 pictures per year and put them into this thing. And in fact, we got it. It's by the time you see this video, it'll be time for us to put another 100 in for 2019. And we just take a subset of the bazillion pictures these people take on their phones and put them out there. But even though they're postage stamp size, I tell you, when you walk up to the picture frame and look at it close and you see it, you recognize everything because it's your history, it's your past, and it's really amazing. People come over, they're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, it's huge. And it is, it's pretty amazing. We did get one comment that it was tacky, and we proudly accept that because it works and it fits in our house very well. It might not fit your decor, that's cool, not offended. But it's a really great thing. We wanted to show you how we did it. So that was the picture frame.
So the Dremel station, I 100% designed that. I sat down for like 2 hours and figured out all the dimensions and figured it all out. You can even you can pause the video and look at how I did it. There were a few people who recreated it, which is that was so cool. Literally, that was the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life, is someone making the thing that I designed and made, and then they also made it. That was pretty sick. But that was, I came home for Thanksgiving break, and that's what we did. And if at the beginning of the video, I was super sick, and you can probably hear it in my voice a little bit, and I was like, we build now, and then I was out for 2 days because I could not, I was sick. But it's cool, it's a cool thing. Again, it was just a need that we had. Our Dremel was everywhere, and we just consolidated it into one place, and that video blew up. People were like, what? That's crazy, you can just put stuff in one box. And it's yeah, man, if you got stuff lying all over the place, you could build anything to put it in. You don't have to just build shelves, you don't have to just build boxes. Use your imagination, look at what other people have done, take what they've done and tweak it a little bit, make your own thing, my guys. Creativity is really cool. Get out there and make something. I'm a huge advocate for getting outside and trying new things because it's pretty neat and you can learn a lot of new things that way.
With a lot of these things, as soon as we get it in place, we're like, man, why did we do this 5 years ago? because I can actually find things. We are getting so much faster at constructing things because we can get our clamps or our screwdrivers or our parts is in a single place. And we get a lot of comments that our shop is pristine and clean. That's because we clean it up to look nice for you. It's messy when we work out here, and we need to clean it up.
We also don't shoot everything that we build. Like I'll come home and like make like a quick little project.
But all of those things pale in comparison to the grand, awesome, amazing Techno desk. The Techno desk was something that I built back in 2010.
No, it was 2012.
2012, but 2012, because my daughters were standing up by the front door waiting for the school bus. They were all, much younger, living here. And their phones were all over the house. If it was raining, we couldn't find an umbrella, and all kinds of stuff. So I said, we need to combine all this stuff into a single charging station for cell phones. And then I started adding more stuff to it, and we came up with the first Techno desk. Well, that thing became one of the most useful things in the house. It's right by the front door, and we just use it all the time. And a friend at a party who's a Doctor Who fan, we have a red light that comes on when the weather alarm goes off. She suggested that we label that run, because that's what you're supposed to do when heavy weather comes, and that's what Doctor Who says. So our Techno desk says run. Well, our Techno desk had been used heavily and been damaged by a few incidents that happened to it, and she wanted to do something beyond the Dome of Destiny, and so you know what, let's make another Techno desk. And so we sat down and we spent a lot of time eating rice bowls at Moe's and other places, drawing on pieces of paper, wandering around in the hardware store saying, no, we don't need you to help us, we're looking for ideas. And we decided to build the Techno desk, and then we got cocky and we said, hey, let's build 3 of them. Was that a mistake?
Oh, absolutely. No, because you sit there and you build the first one. We did everything first on ours, which was green. They all have names. It's green, blue, and red in that order, because that's the order that we built everything. Everything was built first on green because that was going to be ours. All the mistakes, all the everything is on green. Then we'd build everything on blue. And blue was an absolute dream for like the construction aspect. But then when it came to electronics, she was a nightmare. But then when it came to red, an absolute nightmare for the hardware aspect. But as far as electronics would go, it was perfectly pristine and smooth. So I mean, it was an insane build because it took us a year and a half, first of all, because there were 3 of them and it was just the 2 of us working on it.
And we didn't have the shop. We built the shop while we were doing that. So our tools were scattered everywhere. Yeah,
the shop came in the middle. We used to have a disgusting workbench that sat behind us that had a mountain of tools that were literally a foot high, which is where we found all of our duplicate tools and all that kind of stuff. But I was a junior and senior in high school when we built that. Let me give you a framework of what I was doing during this, like what we were both doing. So I was in high school, and what I did was I would go to my high school in the morning, and then I dual enrolled at the local university. So what I would do is I would go to high school, and then I would drive to the university, take university classes, and then come home. I had a part-time job at McDonald's. I was working 24 hours a week. It was crazy. I was working 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then at any waking point that I had free time, I'd be out in the shop building Techno desks. And we had 2 hurricane evacuations. We had so many things just happen in that time span, but I mean, the end product was absolutely worth it. I got to keep red. Red is my desk.
And green lives here with us, and blue is with some dear friends in Florida. Those of you who do woodshop stuff have been so great and have made so many comments that I thought, you know what, I'll just show you some of the things that I'm building. And one of those things was a simple modification I made a number of years ago by putting LED lights on my drill press. And it cost practically nothing, and you could probably build it faster than me describing it here. But I made a video on it, and a lot of people make great comments and have gone out and done the same thing. It's such an obvious solution. And again, I wish I'd thought of it years ago, because now I can see what I'm doing on the drill press, which is important because precision isn't our greatest thing. We're amateurs. And being able to see the marks on the wood is very helpful to be a little more accurate for us. But so that was one that I did that I hope you enjoyed, and a lot of people have commented and sent us messages saying they've done. So Good on you, and we'll be showing you more of the stuff that we've built. I really wish we'd filmed some of this other stuff that we've got out here.
Secret door.
The secret door was delayed. We were going to make that our 4th or 5th video, and I'm so glad we didn't, because we didn't know what we were doing on our 4th or 5th video. But our stormtroopers kept getting sick or called into work. Our stormtrooper we were going to use is a regular episode 4 stormtrooper. And we also have an episode 7 costume with that guy, and he was going to come out, but he's Air Force, and he kept getting called in for drills, and the weeks that we were free, he was not. So the biker scout came out, and he was going to be in the video all along. We were originally going to have like 2 or 3 stormtroopers. I mean, the house was going to be full of stormtroopers chasing us around. And as it turned out, our biker scout buddy was able to come out and help, and he did an awesome job. And Chewbacca came out, and she's actually a girl, and but she came out and helped us out. We had pizza that day and hung out with our friends. But that's an example of our Rebel Legion and 501st costumes. These are the people that go visit kids in the hospital, and they're wonderful people. They're great friends, and we really appreciate that they wanted to be in the video. And we may put some more of our Star Wars buddies in the videos, because we know a lot of Star Wars people. And it is the most unsecret door in our town. Everyone shows up at the front door. Can I see the secret door? Everybody knows about our secret door, and everybody wants to come pull the book back and open it and close it, and it's fantastic. We did do one thing here. A friend came and they used this shop to film an independent video. They set up everything, and they were like real camera people, not like us. They had like tracks on the floor, and they had services over here in the double garage, and all this kind of stuff. And there were, I don't know, 15, 20 people here, and they were here for 3 days in the evenings shooting this video in here. And at the end, when there was a wrap, they called me out here, and they let me take a picture with the cast, which is really cool, over here in the double garage. And then they said, we hear you have weird stuff in your house. And I said, come inside. And they had been using the bathroom, which is just in there, right across from the secret door, for 3 days. And none of them knew that was a secret door.
But the gearbox is in the bathroom. They had all figured out the gearbox. So I'd turn the fan on and be like, they'd come outside and be like, you gotta turn the fan on, you gotta go look at it.
And so I took them into the house, and I showed them the techno desk and the sliding thing over the TV.
Well, I guess it was Techno Desk 1.
Techno Desk 1 was in there, and all the little things in the house. And then I went down the hallway. Now this was like 11:30 at night. My wife was in bed, and she was reading stuff on her phone, and she can hear us out in the hallway. And I've got like 15, 20 people in the hallway. And I said, this alcove you've been walking by all week, this is actually a secret door. And I pulled the door back and pushed it open, and they just screamed, because they had no idea that they'd been 6 inches from it all week walking back and forth and didn't know. And so I do the door, and I pull it back, and I turn back, and all 15 of them had their phones out. Do it again! So yeah. they all filmed the secret door. So it's really not a secret.
I was somewhere else in the house, because I was playing video games. I remember I was playing Breath of the Wild. That's my favorite video game, by the way. I love Zelda. Anyways, and I was just playing it, and I just hear screaming, and I was like, secret door.
Yes, they found the secret door. So anyway, but it is definitely not a secret. Everybody in this town knows how to use it, and people come over and show their friends. So it's we had no idea. And why is it on the laundry room? Because that was the room that was the door that was most convenient to the shop.
Oh yeah, I built my bed.
Yep, she has a bed that she built and took to college. Stripped a screwdriver, which is why there's a new screwdriver.
Yeah, I've been sleeping on the floor. That's not a joke, and it's also not a cry for help. I've just been sleeping on the floor.
That's a good segue. She's also been sleeping in a room without blackout curtains in it. She wanted the curtains back, so we built the shop shutters, which I don't know if you can see her not in the shop, but the shop shutters were because she wanted the curtains back, and also we needed better stuff to hang in the shop. And now our house looks like we have blinds all the way across the front of the house, but we don't. We have these shutters in here, and it blocks everything. We take them off when it's sunny outside, but we put the shutters up because when we film, we might be filming one part of the video during the day, another part at night. And I'll come out here sometimes at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't run power tools when I do that because...
We live in a suburb. You can't do that. Yeah. That's against the rules.
But a lot of times I have commentary or something else, I come out here and it's super late, and the panels on the windows allow me to shoot out here, and you don't care what time of day it is. It all looks like we shot it at once, which is rarely the case. So that's everything we've come up with so far. This is the 26th video. This one you're watching is the 26th video we've done. We really appreciate you. It's been much more fun than we thought it was going to be. We thought it was going to be fun, but it has been fantastic. Your comments are wonderful, and just to see people, just the surge happen when we upload a video, it's just great.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for watching.
And we'll see you for the rest of 2020 and beyond. Subscribe if you haven't already.
Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. That's it. We're done. Happy 2019.